Thanks for tuning into my video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It doesn't cost you any money, but will help me out tremendously. Thanks in advance. So, word on the street is Diddy has been put on suicide watch. I said this in one of my previous videos that I believe that he would try to off himself to avoid the consequences of his actions. Also, he's a target in prison because of his high status. It would give them somewhat street cred if they make him cower down or even offing him, if you know, you know. And a lot of people wants to put hands on him due to that video of him putting hands on Cassie. Let's check it out.
The story we're tracking, music mogul Sean Diddy Combs on suicide watch at Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center after 2 judges denied his request for bail. This as a grand jury is expected to hear new testimony from sex workers very soon.
They are coming for Diddy's ass.
All right, we're getting into the debrief and the very latest on Sean Diddy Combs' arrest on sex trafficking crimes. TMZ is reporting that at least 2 new people plan to cooperate with the feds, and they're willing to testify in front of the grand jury.
All right, joining us now with the details, Charles Latibaudier, TMZ executive producer. Charles, thanks so much for being here with us. Obviously, it's been a very busy week in this case. What's the latest with the investigation?
Yes, Steve and Bianca, as U.S. Attorney Damian Williams promised earlier this week, he said this is an ongoing investigation and that they will be speaking to more people. We found out that these 2 individuals, and we have actually spoken to one of them. They are both sex workers, currently sex workers. One of them says that they had an interaction with Diddy in 2014. And they are willing to tell the feds what they know about that interaction. And another one said that they are willing, and not only willing, but have been subpoenaed to go before the grand jury. So the second person could end up going before the grand jury. At this stage, they are just going to be interviewed by prosecutors. Clearly, they're trying to figure out what these other witnesses know and how they can help them convict Diddy, and that's the name of the game at this point for the feds.
Yeah.
The question is if there is going to be a jury, because yesterday you reported that a former warden had a warning for Diddy that he should watch his back in prison.
Yeah. Look, this is, you know, he's going to be in this at Brooklyn, MDC Brooklyn. Who knows? It could be up to a year before this trial begins. And obviously, they're going to be, his attorneys have said that they're going to try to get him moved to a different facility. But for now, he's in there. And what we've been told by a former warden is he's a target. That's the fact of the matter. And that's why they have him in a solitary part of the jail, because they don't, you know, he becomes a target because it's like what we've been told, it's like a badge of honor that if you were able to inflict some violence on Diddy, that gets you score points with other inmates. So that's a situation that obviously the jail officials do not want to happen. So they're going out of the way to make sure that doesn't happen. He is in a really, can you imagine like the lap of luxury that Diddy's been used to for decades now, and then just like that, he is now in this jail, and unless they can get him bail at some point, he's going to be behind bars for quite a long time.
You know, and just briefly, what's going on behind the scenes in Hollywood? All these people who partied with him, who might be on these hidden tapes, what level of panic are you hearing from all these people we know who associated with him over the years?
I will tell you, Steve, we are not hearing any panic because no one, and this has been true since the raids, really, nobody who we know, people who we know Diddy. We've seen them at his parties, and I'm not talking about the freak-offs. I mean, we haven't seen any of that video, though. Remember, the feds say they do have video that they seized during the raids from those freak-offs, so they know who the celebrities are, if there are any involved in the freak-offs. But we've seen plenty of video over the years of Diddy's very public parties, and all of those people, you know, they're not saying anything. They haven't for months, and yes, to your point, there certainly got to be people who are nervous about getting a call from the U.S. Attorney's Office, whether it be to come in as a witness, whether it be just to be interviewed to find out what they know, or go before the grand jury, which is something nobody wants to do.
Yeah.
They'll want to be away from this case as much as possible.
I feel like we're certainly just scratching the surface on this case.
I can just imagine all those people who partied with Diddy is somewhere pooping bricks. Because Cassie revealed in the lawsuit that every freak-off was recorded so they can be quiet, but they are still on those tapes that are in FBI custody. I just hope that they draw a line between the people who was a willing participant and the people who was forced to participate, because there's a big difference. Well, y'all let me know what y'all think about him being placed on suicide watch.